Well, as Kristen mentioned, just the tragedy that a parent has to go through in burying two of their children is such an unnatural thing. We want to bring in Dr. Keith Ablow to talk about how the vice president is going to be dealing with this. Dr. Keith, thanks for being with us.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So what do you say as a physician, as someone who deals with tragedy for a living, what do you say to a parent who's burying a second child?
Yeah, you know what? I've had to do that. And what you say, first of all, you acknowledge that these are not wounds that heal in traditional ways. These are raw wounds for a lifetime, because who among us as parents wouldn't rather give our lives than have the life of a child taken? And so I would say to the vice president or to anybody in his position, this is something with which you'll struggle for a very long time, and that the way to try to heal, of course, is to try to say, let's look at this person's accomplishments, look at their children, and try to emulate the best of them going forward.
I think Joe Biden, the vice president, may understand that message, Doctor. Just a couple of weeks ago, he talked about being resilient during times of tragedy. Let's watch that together and then give us your expert perspective on that.
There's nothing particularly unique about me. With regard to resilience and compassion, there are countless thousands of people, maybe some in the audience, who'd suffer through personal losses similar to mine or much worse, with much less support to help them get through it and much less reason to want to get through it. It's not all that difficult, folks, to be compassionate when you've been the beneficiary of compassion in your lowest moments, not only from your family, but from your friends and total strangers.
What's the natural reaction that Joe Biden will be suffering? Will he become depressed as a result of this?
Well, you know, what you just shared is the vice president at his best. You know, families in political life, families who have served, may be more resilient than others. They have a context for their suffering. They want to make contributions. And so I don't expect, I mean, it would be a human thing if the vice president were to become depressed. Who might not? However, he is a resilient man. He lived through the loss of his wife and another child. And I would expect him to double his involvement with his family, if that's even possible, because we know him to be a very involved family man. But even more so to do that, and to be aware of those parts of the pattern of Beau Biden that he bumps into, right? Memories of him, not to run away from those things, but to embrace them, because this man lived a rich and textured life. And everybody who knew him, especially his family, though, will bump into those memories, and I hope embrace them, not try to not think of them.
Yep. Dr. Keith Ablow, thank you so much for your expertise this morning.
Thanks, Doctor.
Thanks for having me.
A lot of sense. Thank you, Doctor.